Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome back to another video. This video is a collab with my friend Bethany from Budget Bethany. We are putting together 3 meals for less than $20, and we are using ground beef as our protein source. I will have a link to her video like this one and her channel linked in the description box below. Make sure y'all go over and check her out. Let her know I sent you. And now we'll get into the video.
Come pick me up 'cause I just wanna see the light.
So my total come out to $18.42, which is perfect for what I got. I got a larger pack of ground beef because I am going to split it up 3 ways for each recipe. The first recipe that I'm going to be making is meatballs in cream of mushroom gravy with instant mashed potatoes. And you will need cream of mushroom for that, ground beef, the instant mashed potatoes. I'm going to be putting some butter in those and seasoning the meatballs with onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. But the first thing that I'm going to do is get this pack of ground beef separated. I'm just going to get the other couple of packs of meat put up and then get started on the meatballs. So I will get them seasoned and get them rolled out and then put into the pan. My mama never used any type of binder, eggs, crackers, or nothing like that in these meatballs. They are very, very simple. So I've got them seasoned up, and I'm just going to mix that in really well, get them rolled up and put into the pan on medium heat.
Maybe I'm a bird following the seasons. This is what I've learned.
Now I'm just going to mix the can of cream of mushroom soup with a half a cup of water.
Maybe I'm a bird following the seasons. This is what I've learned. I'm different for a reason. Kept the engine on, never stayed too long.
You want to season each layer as you go, so I'm seasoning this with some garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of salt. Now they've been cooking for a few minutes on the first side. I'm just going to get them flipped over, get it covered back up, and cook them for probably just another 5 minutes before I add the cream of mushroom gravy. And once they've been cooking for another few minutes, I'm just going to get rid of that oil in the pan. They don't have to be cooked all the way through at this point. We are going to put this gravy mixture over it and get the top put back on it and cook it on a little bit under medium heat for 10 to 15 more minutes.
Put up with changes. Come pick me up 'cause I just wanna see the light. I wanna be weightless. Teach me to fly, I won't be coming down.
Now that they're done, I'm just going to turn that timer off and cut them on low and let them sit with the top on them. And I'm just making the instant mashed potatoes as the directions say on the back of the box for the serving of 4. And where it says to add milk, I just add water because I cannot have milk.
Wake me up. I don't wanna be here and let the world pass me by. Yeah. I just see her face wherever I look. She's standing in the crowd. So let go. I don't want to, but
And I did test one and they are done.
little bit inside, you know, maybe things are gonna be alright. 'Cause I just wanna see the light.
And it is time to plate. So I'm going to make my son's plate first. I normally can only eat about 3 of these meatballs, which is why I didn't cook many, because my youngest son won't eat them, and y'all know my daughter don't eat meat. So I just cooked enough for me and my oldest son to share. And I'm just putting some of the gravy on top of the meatballs and the mashed potatoes. And that's it. That was our dinner on this night. You can also serve these over rice. I've did that before. That's also really good. So if you have rice instead of potatoes, that would be a really good substitution. And for the next meal, I'm taking it all the way back to my childhood. good old dollar hamburger helper, instant mashed potatoes, and sweet peas. This meal brings back so many childhood memories for me. And again, on the back of this box where it says to add milk, I will just be adding water. You'll also need butter for the peas and the mashed potatoes, but you can get a 4-stick pack of this butter for less than $1. I've got the ground beef started. I'm just going to put the peas in a pot, add about a teaspoon of butter, and then I'm going to salt the peas and the ground beef. And I'm also going to season the ground beef with some onion powder and garlic powder.
Don't need someone to save me, no, and don't come running to blame me. From miles away I can tell that something's off. The way you look and how you pause when you talk, I think it's said enough.
Okay, now that the meat is cooked and drained, it says to add 2 cups of hot water, 1 cup of milk, uncooked pasta, and sauce mix, which is out of the box. Reduce heat, cover and simmer for 10 minutes. I'm not using the milk as I've already said, so I'm just going to add 3 cups of water, the sauce mix and pasta, get that stirred up, get a top on it, and then turn it down.
You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in your car, let me see who you are, who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, 'cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle. No, I just got.
And I'm just going to make 4 servings of the potatoes, and I'm just going to do it in the microwave and follow the package directions for that.
If you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Ooh.
The potatoes are done, so now it's time to plate. Again, I'm fixing my son's plate first. He's usually running out the door to go to work around this time. He has to be at work at 6 o'clock at night. So I try to get his plate fixed first so he can sit down and enjoy dinner before he goes to work, because he won't eat again until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So I've just got him some of the hamburger helper, peas, and mashed potatoes. And like I said, this is one of our favorite meals. It was always my favorite meal growing up. And are you really from the South if you didn't have this at least 2 or 3 times a week when you were growing up? And for the last recipe, it's going to be a Mexican cornbread casserole. What you will need for this is ground beef, taco seasoning, cheddar cheese, cream style corn, a can of whole kernel corn, and you needed 2 boxes of Jiffy cornbread mix, but apparently I cannot read, so I do make mine with 1. You also need green chilies. Mine turned out fine with 1 box of cornbread, but I guess you should follow the recipe. Also, I don't know if it was just me being completely illiterate or if the recipe was hard to read, but I swear I had to look back at it 30 times. So the first thing that you do is cook your ground beef, drain it, and then follow the package directions on the taco seasoning. And then you're also, in a separate bowl, gonna follow the package directions for the cornbread. And then we're gonna add half of the can of cream style corn to the cornbread mixture and half of the can of the whole kernel corn drained to the cornbread mixture as well.
Come pick me up, 'cause I just wanna see the light. I wanna be weightless. Teach me to fly, I won't be coming down. Could somebody wake me up? I don't wanna be here and let the world pass me by. Yeah, I just see your face where.
Now the recipe did call for spraying whatever dish you were going to use with cooking spray, but I don't keep that, so I just oiled it with some olive oil. And then I put down half of the batter of cornbread mixture, and then I'm gonna top that with all of the taco meat.
Maybe I'm a bird following the seasons. This is what I've learned. I'm different for a reason. Kept the engine on, never stayed too long. I'm alright, I don't mind being.
Then it says to combine the other half of both of the cans of corn together to pour on top of the meat mixture, but I didn't see any reason to mix them. But I'm just layering them over top of the meat, and then I'm just gonna kind of flatten it out.
Something in your eye made me stay all night. I can see you are different too. Love me like a stranger.
Then you add half of the amount of cheese the recipe calls for, plus the can of green chilies.
Like a melody, flowing wild and free. Love me like a stranger. Let it be unique. Run away with me.
If you like heat like I do, I suggest that you added some jalapenos at this point. But my oldest son is a little weak when it comes to heat. Just kidding, I pick on him about that, but he is, so I didn't add any additional heat to it. And now you would just pour over the rest of the cornbread mixture.
Love me like a. Love me like a. Love me like a. Love me like a stranger.
And then I'm just going to smooth that out over the top. And I went ahead and put it in the oven because, like I said, I did not know how to read on this day, apparently. It does cook 35 to 40 minutes, so I set my timer for 40 minutes and then realized that you're supposed to add the other half of the cheese that it calls for before you put it in the oven. So I pulled it back out and did that. It ended up cooking about 36 or 37 minutes. I did have a little bit of time left on the timer. But y'all, look at those bubbles. This was so good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but I do love cornbread. Yeah, it had about 2 minutes left when it came out, so it cooked about 37, 38 minutes or so. And it was done perfect. The cornbread was completely done. But like I said, I did only use one box of cornbread, so I don't know. I would just check it at like 35 to 40 minutes and see if the cornbread's done. And I'm fixing my son some to take to work because he didn't have time this day to sit down and eat. It does have to sit for 5 or 10 minutes after you take it out of the oven so that it doesn't just all run everywhere when you cut into it. This would feed 6 to 8 people depending on how you portion it out. It made entirely too much for us. I bribed my youngest son into trying it, but he doesn't care for sweet cornbread, so he didn't like it. It was really good though, but I don't think we'll be able to get all of this eaten. But that is going to be all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I would have to say that our favorite meal out of the 3 was the $1 box of Hamburger Helper. If y'all liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And if y'all make any of these recipes, I would love for you to tag me on Instagram. I will leave my link below. Make sure y'all go over and check out Bethany's video and her channel. Give her a subscribe and show her some love and let her know I sent you. And if you're over here from Bethany's channel, hello and welcome, and we would love to have you as part of our family. That is going to wrap up this video. I will see y'all in the next one.
Taking just be. Don't take it. Taking just don't be. And live my life. Don't take it. missing over.